When a new face enters a room, everyone silently assesses whether contact feels safe. The first few seconds set the direction because the brain scans for threat cues before listening to content. Posture, eyes, and voice can signal whether someone is a friend, neutral, or foe within moments. When your behaviour remains within what feels normal, suspicion stays low, and conversation becomes possible. Without that safety, even good ideas can feel like pressure, and people may withdraw instead of engaging openly. With safety, small cues build trust, rapport grows, and influence feels like cooperation rather than manipulation. Imagine meeting a neighbour in the hallway where a glance and expression decide whether to chat. A relaxed greeting, brief eye contact, and a friendly face invite a second exchange that deepens familiarity. Next, you will learn how the like switch, the shift from stranger to friend, responds to cues and conversation. This video is inspired by The Like Switch by Schafer and Marvin Karlins. Subscribe to practice friend signals and rapport skills. Every first meeting begins at the stranger point, and attention only shifts when something breaks the expected pattern. A constant scan of the environment sorts nearby people into friend, neutral, or foe signals without deliberate thought. If signals read as non-threatening, responses become automatic and calm, just like normal traffic following distance. If signals violate that baseline, suspicion rises, and even harmless questions can feel intrusive or risky. A person who moves with purpose and speaks clearly tends to be seen as less vulnerable and more stable. A person who hesitates, avoids eye contact, and looks lost can trigger protective reactions before any words are spoken. Influence starts by keeping others inside their comfort zone, so their brain does not flag you as a danger. Once safety is established, friendship tools work because they feel normal rather than staged or calculated. Observe everyday encounters and notice which behaviours make people relax, then copy the ones that fit you. Before starting a conversation, aim for normal distance, steady movement, and a clear voice that signals ease. 3 key cues matter most early because they communicate friendliness faster than any explanation or personal story. The eyebrow flash, head tilt, and genuine smile act as quick signals that you do not pose a threat. When these cues appear, people become more approachable, as the interaction moves from caution to curiosity. When they are missing, the same approach can read as dominance, distance, or guarded intent. During a first greeting, a brief eyebrow flash and short eye contact often appear, even when words are minimal. A slight head tilt and warm eyes can add trust, while staring or a flat expression can create distance. These friendly signals flip the like switch, moving someone from a stranger to a friend mindset. They are effective because they rely on normal human behaviour rather than clever tricks or rehearsed lines. Practice using brief eye contact, a small eyebrow flash, and a genuine smile when you first notice someone. Pair the cues with relaxed shoulders and a slight head tilt, then let the other person set the pace. The friendship formula explains why closeness grows from repeated contact, not from one perfect conversation. It consists of 4 parts: proximity, frequency, duration, and intensity, which together shape how a relationship develops. If frequency is low, more time together is needed. Otherwise, the bond stays shallow and easily breaks. If proximity is consistent, small increases in intensity can feel natural, and the brain rarely treats it as a strategy. Someone new to a city can become familiar by showing up at the same places and greeting staff respectfully. A small curiosity hook, like a distinctive hobby item, can invite questions that start a conversation without forcing it. This approach keeps the like switch lit because interactions feel earned through time instead of rushed pressure. It also helps you plan rapport intentionally by choosing where contact happens and how often it can realistically occur. Pick one environment you visit weekly and add predictable contact, then slowly increase warmth and detail sharing. If this formula helps you build friendships with less guesswork, then subscribe for more tools you can practice daily. Nonverbal cues may open the door, but words decide whether someone feels understood enough to continue the conversation. Empathetic statements can name what a person seems to feel, giving them permission to share without being pushed. When people feel they chose to speak, they're more likely to disclose more, and the exchange becomes cooperative rather than defensive. Empathy also improves how others feel about themselves, increasing their liking and making it easier to maintain friendships. Instead of demanding explanations, you can say someone looks worried, then pause and let them decide what to add. If the response is partial or quiet, another gentle reflection can draw out details without turning the moment into an interrogation. Verbal behaviour keeps the like switch on by preventing the interaction from feeling intrusive. Conversation works best when the focus stays on the other person and avoids pulling them into negativity. Use one empathic line. Listen for the opening and follow with questions that build clarity instead of judgment. Avoid over-talking, constant complaints, and meaningless chatter, as these habits can make others feel worse about themselves. Curiosity is a built-in drive to resolve uncertainty, and it can naturally pull someone toward you without persuasion. A curiosity hook is a small behaviour that makes a person wonder what is happening and why it matters. When curiosity arises, interaction becomes their idea, and the conversation begins with interest rather than resistance. Reciprocity adds momentum because receiving a friendly act, like a smile, creates pressure to respond in kind. A simple note, an unusual object, or focused attention can spark questions that open a natural first exchange. Starting with a small smile often earns a return smile, and that mutual acceptance lowers barriers quickly. These tools support rapport by building a psychological bridge, making later requests feel safer and more reasonable. They also reduce the need for aggressive approaches as the other person moves toward you through their own motivation. Choose one curiosity hook that fits the setting, keep it subtle, and allow the other person to approach first. Then reinforce connection by offering a friendly signal, listening well, and letting reciprocity carry the interaction forward. Liking is not a matter of luck, but the result of reducing threat and increasing comfort in small, observable ways. When safety is prioritized, influence becomes a shared process where both individuals feel a sense of choice and control. Utilize the friend or foe scan to your advantage by maintaining normal, human behavior. Send clear friend cues with eyebrow flashes, head tilts, and genuine smiles. Then support closeness with the friendship formula. Over time, these habits build rapport, which in turn creates a bridge that makes deeper conversations feel safe and welcome. Curiosity and reciprocity add momentum, so connections grow from interest rather than forced effort. Begin by entering one setting. You visit often and commit to consistent proximity, calm signals, and better listening. As each interaction improves, gradually increase duration and intensity, allowing rapport to develop at a pace that people enjoy. The goal is simple: make others feel safe, seen, and respected, and friendships will naturally follow. If you want more practice guides for these signals and rapport skills, subscribe to keep improving every week.